I want to make this video today about one of the most common questions I get asked by candidates as we're going through the consultation process is, Jonathan, what's the best franchise to buy? It's 2021 right now. What do you think is the best franchise out there? And of course, people, they like to look at the Entrepreneur franchise top 500 and they see concepts like Taco Bell, Dunkin' Donuts, the UPS store, and they're thinking how, yeah, that's the one I want to get in. I want to get in with the guys who are the best, the biggest, the best, the ones that everybody wants to get into. And what I'll tell you is, when you break it down from the top performers to the bottom performers in any franchise system, you're going to start to see some trends about the owners that understood the business model going into it and the ones that are struggling to comprehend, what the different ownership aspects entail. And of course, it always depends on what your role in the business is going to be. Are you going to be that owner operator that's going to be there 40, 50 hours a week doing what it takes to be able to get your business off the ground? Going out, doing the sales, doing the networking, building relationships. That's really where we see that owner operator fitting in. And if you're not going to do that, the other option is to be semi-passive. And you may be keeping a full-time job. Perhaps you're retired at this point and you want to do something to earn additional income. You can find different franchise opportunities that you can hire a manager, put them in place, get your team built up. Essentially, you're overseeing the business. You're going to be involved in making sure that you're meeting all of your KPIs and making sure that your staff is growing and hiring at the appropriate times as your business grows. And the other thing that you'll want to look at is, what is the industry outlook going to be over the next 5 to 10 years? And deciding if that is something that you want to get into. And if it's not looking good or trending downward, you might want to consider other areas that are growing a little bit more rapidly. But of course, a lot of that is dependent on your local market demographics and the demand in your area for different products and services. And more often, nobody's going to know that better than you. We can go off of statistical data and areas that we're familiar with, but for the most part, you're going to want to determine, is this something that I think, based on the local competition, I'm going to have some sort of competitive market advantage to go out there and do what it takes to earn your share of that business. And so there are several other factors that I would call them more of sub factors. If you want to consider your exit strategy, which is not something that most investors, first time business owners are even thinking about at this point. They just want to be their own boss and have the freedom and flexibility to make their own schedule. And while all of that is some of the benefits that come with being a small business owner, not to mention comparatively the advantages from a tax perspective, the way that you're able to do certain things with your income as an owner of the business and take expenses that apply to the business. And so it depends what your goal is. If you want to get into a business and say sell that in 5 or 10 years down the road, you may want to consider something that has more recurring revenue in order to get a higher multiple. Some may want to get in and own and operate that business and then pass it down to their children and leave them with that legacy. And it all depends what your goals are, more so than what Entrepreneur Magazine decided was the top franchise for 2021. And so you got to take a step back and think about it from a business ownership perspective, not necessarily from a consumer perspective. These are certain products or services that I use, therefore I would invest in that franchise. While that is a good indicator that it is a good product or service to get into, the bigger picture is more so, what is the owner's role in that business going to be, and is that where I see myself using my strengths to be able to take this business, grow this business, support my family on this business, and take it to the next level. And so when you're looking at the local competitive landscape, You're going to want to make your own determinations where the best areas could be. I always recommend closer to home, something within reasonable driving distance. I feel that it creates, more success, and you don't have to spend as much time driving to wherever your business is located. All of this due diligence, it can take a lot of research, and we offer our free consultation service to anybody out there who's thinking about franchises, wants to see what might be right for them. We use a personality test that actually matches you with top performing franchisees, and through our conversations and understanding of franchising, which it really can be and is my full-time job, just learning about franchises and matching my candidates with the types of owners that they're looking for that meet the requirements for their business model and have shown to be the most successful franchisees out there. You will talk to existing franchise owners through our due diligence in the franchise validation stage, and that is a really key time for you to ask questions, talking to some of the most successful franchisees, taking those things back as you go into your business, and also learning from the bottom performing franchisees, because they are there, but try to think past whatever they're telling you and see if you can come up with some sort of reasoning, where they might not be following the plan the way that other franchisees have talked to you about it, and you'll get a better understanding of why they are where they are and why the most successful franchisees are extremely happy with the business and franchise system that they are a part of. If you want to go through the consultation process, please feel free, reach out, visit us on our website, BizFranHub.com. We're here to help you, and thank you for tuning in to this week's edition, Franchise Help. Take care.